seeing brother time is not on time. Well, he hasn't arrived, and we understand, we country people don't know town. So I'm sure he took a wrong turn. But I would really like to welcome you all to the ministry and to say that this morning is a culmination of over 2 years' work. Initially, because we still have 2 buses in the back, and when we had to treat with the procurement process, poor Miss Column, she had sleepless nights because the program was announced 2 years ago, and the beneficiary schools were Yallas High School and Maldon High in St. James. And because of the budget processing again, we had to drop those, do the second phase, and hopefully next financial year we'll be able to take on back the Yallas and Maldon and then go forward. But we have to be mindful of the various procedures within government and to abide by them, because my ministry staff will have it done no other way. So each bus, I believe, cost some 19 million, Ms. Collum? So 19 million, so we had to go through the procurement procedures, and it took a while. But I am happy that this morning we are here with the cooperation of the National Education Trust, because the Prime Minister dictated that anything to do with education, we should work with the National Education Trust. And the Transport Authority is the authority to regulate transportation in Jamaica. And a lot of persons are making the mistake that Kingston is Jamaica. And they assume that whatever goes for Kingston, it is automatic for the rest of the island. Well, I am a countryman. Mr. Phillips preferred to say rural. We don't know about that. He's a straight countryman. And I understand some of the difficulties that we country people have to treat with. And yes, the pandemic is here. And as much as the government is trying to treat with the pandemic, we also have a responsibility as citizens that we must do certain things. Mr. Basco from Taki told you about his enrollment, but what he did not tell you is that 69.4%, I believe, of his students are enrolled on the PATH program. So in the best of times, these children are challenged to come to school and to be sustained. And now with the pandemic, that extra pressure on them is horrendous. And I am sure for Northwest Manchester, the same is true, because I think it's about approximately 50% of the students at Mile Gully is also on the PATH program. So in choosing these schools, we took those matters into consideration. And as Mr. Basco indicated earlier, on Thursday he will be moving around to deliver schoolwork. I know the Ministry of Education has a program with Ready TV to bring internet into deep rural countries. And also the Ministry of Technology, Energy and Science has another program along with the Universal Access Fund to widen the scope of connectivity in the country. But all of that will take time. And the imperative is now to get not only the material to the students. And one of the things, Mr. Basco, I may have to suggest that you may have to take out the seats, some of the seats out of your bus, and do a little mobile classroom, because it is one thing to deliver the educational material. It is another thing to explain to us, country people and students, the new concept, because the teacher will start a new topic, and therefore it needs to be explained. And if there's no connectivity, that is going to be a challenge. So it is one thing to deliver the work that I know I understand the concept. It's now how do you deliver the new concept. And therefore, as we face these challenges, I am confident that as Jamaicans, we will overcome them, because this is a part of life in 2020. Taki is also one of those schools that is very strong in cricket in terms of sports. And once Taki used to win the math competition the island-wide math competition. But there are a lot of gems in rural Jamaica that a lot of people don't know of. And therefore, in assisting Taki in getting the students, many of those who in the good times, as I said before, find it difficult to reach. Mr. Phillips told you about the difference in bus fares for a child. It is not $100, actually $20 on the JUTC, while a child in rural Jamaica can't leave home unless they have at least $1,000 or $1,200 between bus fare and lunch. So we have to do more for rural schools, country schools, to bring them up to par. I am very confident that various members of parliament are using their CDF to assist the schools in getting connectivity. The Ministry of Education has also worked with Google, because there is an education suite from Google that once you access that suite, it is zero rated, so there's no charge. So even if you don't have any money on your phone, you can actually access some of that, and that will be rolled out soon. There's a lot of talk about how do we manage the various modalities of getting education. Mr. Basco and Taki is a perfect example, because Taki High School outgrew where they were. He now has 2 campuses. One high school, 2 campuses. 7 to 9 is in retreat. 7 and 8 is in retreat, and 9, 10, and 11 is in Gale, approximately 8 miles apart. And therefore, he already is challenged. Even when you had face-to-face classroom, he is challenged in administering and managing a double campus with one drawdown, because it's the same amount of money. So Mr. Time make more money than you at the end of the day. So Taki is one of those examples that I always draw on to say that the challenges in rural Jamaica is real. And therefore, whatever we can do to assist, we will. And it is going to take an all-of-country effort to assist our students. And this morning, I know a lot of persons are whispering MP Phillips, but I just want to let people know that this initiative, the selection was done long before the elections. And I was told that because of this initiative, you hung on to your seat, because you wanted to be here this morning. Because once it was Audley Shaw alone in Manchester, today it is you alone, Audley as company. But the government is doing that to demonstrate to the rest of the country that when it comes to education, there is no politics. There is no color. Because the education of our children is a national priority that cuts across the political spectrum. For those who don't know, that Mr. Basco was the campaign manager against me. But it was a learning experience for him. And I look forward to him being the campaign manager again in the next round. But that time for me. So it is my challenge to get him to come and to lead a successful campaign. Because it's full time you lead a successful campaign. But the donation this morning, I want to thank the Transport Authority Board who took the decision to fund these gifts. And every year we will do a minimum of 2 going forward, because at the end of the day, the Transport Authority is there to assist the people of Jamaica. And I've always said, even when I was in the Senate, it is one thing to balance the books. What we must do is to balance people's lives. And the Transport Authority, through this initiative, is stepping up. They're not only running down taximen and taking away their taxes, they are now actually helping the next generation and helping to move our country forward. Within the Transport Authority, very soon, and I am looking for the support of Member Phillips, we'll be taking an amendment to the floor of Parliament to put some things, to codify some initiatives that we have. The variable birthday renewal on your birth month. So rather than the 78,000 private and commercial licenses that fall due at the end of March, everybody going to the Transport Authority on the 1st of April to renew, we are having variable renewal dates so that you'll be able to renew in your birth month. So it reduces the crowding at the Transport Authority offices. We are now moving online with a lot, well, not moving, we are online with almost all our services, so there's actually no need to come into our offices. As a matter of fact, we have a surcharge. If you turn up at our offices, we charge you 10,000. If you just walk into our offices, we charge you 10,000. We are forcing people to go online and to reduce the crowding in our offices. It is a strain on our staff members. It is unproductive to our customers to come in, to be bungling up there for hours trying to get the service when you can stay at home and do it online. We are also moving to remove from the law that section that says if you are running contrary, your vehicle will be towed. We're replacing that with a ticketing regime. Because when a teacher is caught speeding by the police, you don't take away our chalk. When a doctor is caught speeding, you don't take away the stethoscope. So when a taximan is caught speeding or driving contrary, you don't take away the means of earning his living. The chalk is the means of earning for the teacher. The stethoscope is for the doctor. So we must, in modern Jamaica, find methods to punish the guilty, but at the same time bring order and balance and equity to people's lives. Because we are all in this ship known as Jamaica. Another of the initiatives we are doing is to upgrade the badges and to ensure that we have ongoing training for the drivers, the conductors, the owners. We are moving to modernize the transport sector in Jamaica. And once you're making changes, you find that people will resist change. But it is our job, it is our challenge to engage the various players in the sector, to consult with them, to hear them, to listen to them. I know Tanya is far advanced with revising the national transport policy. We are far advanced with that, and we will soon have a new national transport policy because there are new modalities. There is no people speaking about air travel, drone travel, and we have to look at it. We are actively in the ministry really looking at the rail in conjunction with tourism interests to have like a heritage trail. Because a lot of persons, I'm sure the students from Taki and from Mile Gully, if you ask them, Mr. Basco or Mr. Time, they don't even realize that the railway is still operational, and actually it is profitable. The railway runs every day in Jamaica. It carries bauxite, carries cargo, and we need to reintroduce the passenger service and also to extend the cargo service so we can take some of the trucks off the road. We're also looking at reintroducing ferries in Jamaica. But all of this, we as government, we are not going to undertake it as the government. We are going to set the parameters and create the initiatives and give the encouragement that the private sector persons can step in and do what they have to do. For Mile Gully, the only high school in northwest Manchester who has to be serving everybody, you are challenged, Mr. Time. And we know that you need a member of parliament that will give you more of a CDF. And I'm going to arrange that for you soon. But in the meantime, you just have to go on with what you have. And I know that Honorable Member Phillips is doing his best, so sometimes you mustn't pressure him too much. I know he's doing his best to assist the school, because he's very proud of his Mile Gully High School. And we really want to wish all the best for both schools. The $19 million gift, I don't have to say it to both principals. We expect to find the buses in 5 years' time in pristine condition. We don't expect your students to mark up the bus to tell me that Johnny was here and Mary loves Tommy and all those things. So no graffiti. We expect our children, and MP Phillips, this is an initiative I want you to take up. As a member of parliament, I believe that every child should learn to drive before they leave high school. So I've used my CDF and private fundraising to purchase driving simulators for high schools in my constituency. Mr. Basco has one. And the students there learn to drive. Because it's a simple calculation on my part. If 69% of the students at Taki are on path, there's not a car at home. They won't be able to drive. They're going to have to pay. And in my constituencies, a lot of the taxi drivers are graduates of Taki. And then how do they then learn to drive? Some thief a little drive here, some go buy a license there long before my time. And they do all these things. And I'm saying, if we are serious about reducing road traffic fatalities and improving the courtesies on the road, we have to start in the schools. So we have to teach the children the road code from in the schools. We have to teach them to drive from in the schools and encourage them to apply for their license. We in this country sometimes make grand pronouncements of what we want to achieve, but we neglect to show how we are to achieve these lofty goals. So I have bought driving simulators for the schools. Still need some more. I'm sorry, Mr. Morgan is not here from Transport Authority, so if him could squeeze out some more money to help me. But we are committed to our schools. It is a part of our corporate social responsibility as an authority. And as we move along, we hope that both schools, the students from both schools, and I want to challenge the students from both schools, to think transport, to come into the transport sector and to make it be a career path, to think of how you as an individual can make a difference in the transport sector. It may be writing an app. It may be seeing a deficiency and coming up with a solution. Because many times it is our students who come with what is so-called crazy ideas. And it is these crazy ideas that make sense at the end of the day. So I want to challenge the students from both Mile Gully and Taki High School to come up with something. And maybe, Tanya, we need to design a competition. That they need to come up with something to give back. Because while the students are the future, we must also teach them that they have a responsibility to give back. They are not only to be getting, they have to give back. So that being said, I had extended the courtesy of allowing Mr. Basco to speak, although he's not on the program. So, Mr. Time, I will give you your 30 seconds to come and bring 30 seconds greeting, not 31.